Hi, my name is Jessica Denney, and I did my speech on the impacts of perception and the way that it affects interpersonal communication. My thesis is perception is how we communicate our thoughts, feelings, and other verbal and nonverbal communication. It is individually unique, but as a whole creates independence and diversity within interpersonal communication. My first question is, what does perception mean for you? To me, perception means individual uniqueness, freedom of expression, and a combination of morals and experiences that create who we are. My next question is, so the gray area is associated with personal uniqueness. The gray area perception is more about opinion. We can both think that the dog is brown, and that is factual, for most. However, I could think the dog is small and you could think the dog is large because you had smaller dogs growing up. However, if people that are colorblind and cannot see the brown, that is also a different kind of perception. Is it possible to eliminate or reduce perception? Perception is just a part of who we are. We cannot change or reduce our perception because it creates who we are as individuals and makes us all different. What are real-life examples of perception that aren't illustrations? All situations, more commonly including arguments and disputes that involve two sides to a story, but it could also be anything from day-to-day life, how we see different experiences, how we go on. If you go on a really hard hike, but your friend thinks it's easy, that can be different perceptions too. How much can perception vary between two people who lead similar lives, for example, twins with the same interests? Although twins are extremely similar and grow up basically the same and have the same parental figures, they are not attached at the hip and can still have different experiences leading to different circumstances and perceptions, depending on how they were treated with their friends and other, like playing sports and all that different kind of stuff. If one is having an argument and one isn't seeing eye to eye, what's the best way to handle this argument? According to researcher Fugison and Natural Bridges, it is important to talk it out with the individual involved in the argument. And although you may still disagree, acknowledge and respect the view of the other individual. How can perception cause a negative impact on communication? Some people think that they are always right or another person cannot see a situation a different way, and that can lead to arguments and misunderstandings when people do not consider other people's opinions. How does your perception affect your thoughts about having college relationships? Perception affects all decisions that are made internally and externally. If someone got out of a bad relationship recently, they could not want to pursue another individual for a while. But if they like relationships and have good experiences, and that could influence them to want a relationship through college. How do you change your perception when you find it difficult? According to researcher Sally McMillan, it is important to ask questions when an individual does not understand the route to another's opinion, and also know that perception is extremely unique. Is there a right or wrong way to perceive things? According to researcher Paul Maddox, perception is based on our past, familial, social, and environmental aspects, so it is unlikely that we can control how we perceive things. But just by understanding the concept, we can rightfully understand other people's perception and influences about it. I got a lot of questions about the pictures that I did in the PowerPoint, and these are them. Can you see the old lady and young lady? Yes, I can see both, but only because I knew to look for them. I did see the young lady first, though. It did take me a while to see the old woman because my eyes were focused on the young lady.